No, NXT New Year's Evil. That's the other show. That's literally
Run Wild. That
Oh no.
Tu Tuesday, also in LA because the Raw shows in LA.
Yep.
Is that at the same? It's not at. This is at the Shrine Expo Hall.
Yeah,
That
it's not at the same place.
this
yeah.
card is stacked too, low key. I mean, we were talking about that Oba Femi, Trick Williams, Eddie Thorpe, triple threat match. Oba Femi and Trick Williams this past Tuesday on NXT. They had a really good back
Oh
and
my
forth.
God. Oba Femi is working in NXT at this point to get that belt, to have a good team, and to continue to build. And I like that they have him simmering, but he is main roster ready now. He is cutting promos better
I like his
than
promos.
people
I do
who
like his
have been
promos.
sitting on that main roster for a while. He knows how to work as a big man, and I want him to sit in NXT for another year. I don't want him to be on main roster until 2026.
Word.
There's a spot.
He is clearly clear, and everybody is not like that. Some people gotta work at it, but I don't know how long he's been doing this, but like
Not long. Not
he
long.
is amazing. Some people just have the touch. And when he's talking about, he's like, you think you can dictate what it is? You think you have this? I'm the captain now. And he took it from Captain Phillips.
Said,
But
Yes.
it was so natural.
Yeah, that I'm the
It
captain now was
a
dope.
great callback. And then when Trick came, like even when Trick was coming out, he was like, oh, of course. Like he gets it. And no shade, because Trick sometimes can get a little sketch on the mic at times. But when he came out with Oba, he was on his best bullshit.
He said Trick McGrady.
Trick was ready. But Oba Femi, like I want a Gunther style NXT title run from him while he's in NXT with that championship. He is the one who is believable to hold the belt for an extended period of time. That man is greatness.
Wait, brother fam, can you pull up what Rock said? Rock said Oba Femi won't be in NXT another year. He's going to show out at the Rumble and be main roster by SummerSlam.
Oh wow, you think you're gonna take him that
That's
soon?
not good though.
It feels early.
That's not good.
So check this out. You do remember Keith
Do
Lee?
remember? What?
You remember Keith Lee? This nigga can do what they needed Keith Lee to do, or what Vince McMahon wanted Keith Lee to do, and that's what's going to happen.
So Oba Femi wins the NXT title at some point by Stand and Deliver, and is gone 4 months later. He's doing what on the main roster for the rest of the year? Wrestling Gunther?
This is the flaw of NXT.
He's wrestling Braun Breaker? Like what would be his track, honestly?
No shade, and that's why I want him to stay. I want him to stay for the year.
He needs to stay.
I want him to keep him there. Because if I'm being honest, it comes down to the booking and no shade. And I'm going on record for this. And I know people will be like, what? He's a better promo than Braun Breaker.
Oh, talk about
it. In a match, yeah, Braun is a great wrestler, but give Oba more time in NXT, and it's believable that Oba can whip Braun Breaker's ass. It all comes down to me, and I very rarely get behind somebody this much, like as far as the whole thing. It's people I like, but I'm willing to ride down the block with Oba Femi. And I'm going to say this as a black person, even though he's African, right?
Who the fuck is that?
At the point?
I don't keep no money
My
there.
bad.
Wait, hey, they got shiesties on? Wait, hey, what they take? What's in the bags?
That nigga got a glue gun.
I'm sorry, D.
Go ahead, Dad.
I was getting ready to make a real important point.
Prolific.
As black wrestlers, what I love about Oba, he possesses something, and I don't know how often this has happened before, but Oba has a quality where, as a black man, I feel so empowered when he talks. I feel like Oba is not a game. He's not a joke. He's serious business, and he can go on the mic. There's no excuse for you to not book him correctly.
Facts.
With other people,
there is an excuse, and it's the problem. is the available spot. What I'm starting to see is the thought is work the progress. Is come in and work the North American champ circuit, and then work the NXT champ circuit, hold that, have your reign, and then get pushed up, and then you meet the disconnect.
Yeah.
Because
The
what
Carmelo Hayes
happens
effect. That's what's
is-
going on with him right now.
is the assumption is once you work that championship top of NXT, that the next step is going to be available. And the problem is, I don't think that WWE has figured out what that first transitional spot should be.
Right.
Now, you've had some very special guys come in and have a great reign at the top of NXT, and some of them have kind of beat the what's the next step, right? But some folks come in there and they're like, all right, well, you've been great down there. Be great right now. Hurry up.
Yeah.
I'm worried.
I
I'm
see
just
what
worried
you're
about
saying.
what Oba ends up being if they push him up in 6 months.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's why I said keep him for a year. Keep him for a year. But I believe in that man so much that I feel like he could do it. Like no shade to Carmelo, but I was like when he first left because he can wrestle. But let's face it, a lot of that reign was him, and a lot of that last reign was him and Trick, and all of that. Trick was a part of that to a certain degree, not the main ingredient. Oba, the reason why I believe in Oba, and I know NXT is not the same thing. He came in off that NXT tournament, got that cashed in that contract, got that North American title, sight unseen. The audience did not know him. He got himself over with the audience, and now made that North American title because it was a little for a while after Carmelo dropped it, and made that title. Whoever got that meant something. I just believe, I don't want to say like whatever, but I just feel like this man is different, and I just believe in him so much that I feel like he's one of the few that I feel like he could be okay.
Actually, shout out to
Kevin
it's
Owens.
Only been KO, and KO came into NXT with main event experience.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? He's an outlier. The majority of niggas that have they run at the top of NXT, the thought would probably be a mid-card title, but they haven't done a great job at that transition yet for me. Some guys have just come in and been special. KO beat Cena night one.
He beat Cena.
Yeah.
That was it.
He was champion. He was NXT champion at that time, right?
And he beat Cena, right.
I just think
this is my point, brother Terrence. They haven't figured out that booking yet.
But Oba is not Carmelo. Carmelo, like, to me, and I'm going to go into my theater entertainment bag. When I look at Oba Femi, he is great just being. Carmelo is an amalgamations of things to be great to me. And that's just my personal opinion. But I just think Oba is so special that he could go to main roster and be okay. Oba is not Carmelo, and Carmelo may be a way more experienced wrestler and all this and the third, but it's something about aura that Oba Femi has that I could see him easily standing next to some of them big guys. Like I could see him, not that Braun Strowman is that guy now, but I could easily see him next to Braun Strowman. I could easily see him next to some of these other big guys on the roster, and it would work. And no shade, he's better on the mic than some of them already.
You know what? DDM said that Oba's got aura, and it's funny because we were talking about Omos earlier. One quote tweet I saw that people saying was that Omos had aura when he had the belt, and he was talking his shit on. He was like, "I know how. I finally know how it feels." Oba was that. Oba was that last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's kind of when I see Oba Femi, I love the when he gets on the mic and is able to be in the ring and cut a promo. I don't know how much of that's going to translate to the main roster because it definitely feels like he is him and Roxanne Perez. They both feel like they're very prepared to get out there and say what they're going to say. And I don't know. He's ill because he's got kind of like a, I don't give a fuck what y'all gonna say, what y'all gonna do. I'm Oba, and I'm about to show y'all what I'm about to do. I hope that confidence and what he's building right now can translate on a main roster whenever he gets there, 2026 or whatever, and he's able to stand in the middle of that ring and say, "Hey, like Bernie Mac, R.I.P. I ain't scared of you, motherfuckers. I'm about to go out here and do my shit the way I do it because you ain't seen this shit before."
But
That's
see,
my
I don't
hope.
think that for me, I don't think that's the issue. I don't like Oba Femi jumping off the screen is already gospel. That already happens, right? My problem is you can give a nigga every ingredient. You can tell him what order to put the goddamn paprika in and the Old Bay and goddamn garlic salt and all that. But the nigga cooking gotta be able to do it.
Well, that's I mean,
I think that Oba
My
can do
trust
it.
isn't my distrust. I'm sorry, isn't with Oba.
Yeah.
no, of course. Well, this is literally the same conversation we've had
Yeah.
with Omos. At a certain point, the promotion needs to be ready to properly push this big man. Just like I don't think that Omos coming back from Noah into the main roster in the next year is going to be like, oh, they're ready to work him the way they should be working a big guy. Oba Femi may get a little bit more of that because he's proven to be wrestling at a different capacity than some other people, but there's a limit to that. Because Oba's going to have to wrestle Gunther. He's going to have to wrestle Seth Rollins. He's going to wrestle these people, and they're going to be different style matches than what we've been seeing. And I don't know if the powers that be are ready to give him what he needs to do to be going over these people. That's my fear.
I just think
Same.
I have a funny feeling about this man, and I just have a strong indication and inclination that he is going to do great things.
That shit says Lex Luger.
I hope so.
So
Oh,
Oba's Lex Luger is crazy.
Thanks.
So wait, and there was another question. Somebody asked if Trick is cooked. Where was that?
That's a little truck.
Yeah,
Truck.
little truck asked if Trick was cooked.
Truck, little truck. I hope he rap.
I with the gun with the gat in the profile picture is amazing. The dog with the gat. I'm sorry. Trick is Trick is gonna have no issue, I think, getting over with the main roster crowd. They were calling for him last year when he showed up on SmackDown in the audience. He's gonna be one of those people. If Oba needs another year,
Trick gone.
Trick's going to be fine on that main roster, but I do think that it's going to be more of an uphill battle.
I'll say this: it's going to be a gagger because I think Trick going to do better than Carmelo.
Because Trick naturally has the people behind him. You know what I'm saying? Like he steps out and again he looked like somebody.
No shade.
He
And
looked like somebody that need to be on top and be on your TV all the time.
no shade. I think he's going to be fine, but I think they need strong black male talent. That's serious. And somebody pointed out Triple H, I think it was Terrence said Triple H never pushes black male talent, and that may be true.
I think that's a part of it.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it. Yeah.
And if that is,
That was Eddie James. My bad.
that's going to be interesting because I'm interested to see how that works now with like the Nick Khans and that it's not Vince's company per se anymore. Even though Triple H is head of creative and stuff, it's going to be interesting to see with this new ownership and regime how this actually works.